Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunataya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Sitaya Pataye Namaha Sitaya Pataye Namaha. We are in Ayodhyakand chapter 2 and we are looking at the verse number 17, 16, 17 we have to see. And what we are seeing is here that Dasharath ji, suddenly he has a brainwave that he wants to anoint Lord Sri Ram as the crown prince, because suddenly he starts, सबको पता लगता है, suddenly we start becoming up to बुढ़े हो गए. Suddenly you see the white hair somewhere. Suddenly you have passed year 12. One day you are in year 12, next day you are in uni. Same thing. How excited she was, or they were, when they passed primary school and went into secondary school. Just now someone announced. No, this one only announced. She's going into secondary now, na? She's already telling me, I'm going to be grown up. In other words, I can't see Daksha. अभी ठीक है. So like that, suddenly he felt Dasharath had ruled for 10,000 years, defeated the Asuras, helped Indra in defeating Asuras, and so many things. Suddenly he felt old and he felt that I must give it over, hand it over. And there only he called Sumantra, his minister, and he gave him the instructions, called Sage Vashishta, gave him the instructions. Sage Vashishta told Sumantra, and everything is getting prepared. Ityadishya mune shriman sumantram rupamantrinam swayam jagama bhavanam ragavasyati shobhanam rathamaruhya bhagavan vasishto muni sattamaha trini kakshanyatikamya rathakshitimavarata. Having commanded the royal minister Sumantra as above, Sage Vashishta himself proceeded to the palace of Raghav, means Sri Ram. The most exalted sage mounted a chariot and crossed the first 3 gates of the palace and then dismounted. Lord Sage Vashishta himself is going to call the crown prince. Both ways it is correct. First thing is, he is the Rajpurohit, he is the Kulapurohit, and secondly, Ramchandraji is the king, crown prince going to be the future king. So also the Rajpurohit must go to him. Not because he is young, so he has to go. No, the young ones always must go to the elders. And third thing is, Sage Vashishta knows who Sri Ram is. Also he is going. And then, Antah pravishya bhavanam swacharyatva dhanavaritah gurumagatam agnyaya ramasturnam krutanjali pratyudgamya namaskritya dandavad bhakti sanyutah swarnapatrena paniyam aninayashu janaki. Since he was the chief priest, he went straight, unopposed, inside the palace, seeing that his guru has arrived. Guru had unfettered access to all sections of the palace. Right? So you have been listening to me. I can enter your room when you are not ready. Simran, she used to be, the day she comes to know Swamiji is coming, 1-2 hours before, she will clean up the room and keep it ready. Swamiji, I cleaned it up. Shri Ram immediately stood up. Pratyudgamya namaskritya. Pratyudgamya. In response, Shri Ram immediately went and did namaskar and prostrated before him with reverence. Dandavat bhakti sanyutaha. Dandavat, falling like a stick onto the ground. Another way, this is out of deep respect and reverence for the one who has come in front of you. And just at that time, Janaki, Sita brought water in a golden pot. Yes, last week I think this is where I left, and I was telling you the samskaras of our Sanatan Dharma, that this is the first thing that they do. And आजकल तो पहले तो पुणेकरी बोलते नहीं, कोकणस्थ बोलते हैं, चाय पी के ही आए होगे. आजकल बोलते हैं पानी भी पी लिया होगा. पानी भी मुश्किल से मिलता है आजकल. इसीलिए everyone is carrying a water bottle with them. They know they will not get it. रत्नासने समावेश्य पादौ प्रक्षाल्य भक्तितः तदप शिरसा धृत्वा सीतया सह राघवः धन्योऽस्मीत्यब्रवीद् राम हस्तव पादाम्बुधारणात् श्रीरामेणैव मुक्तस्तु प्रहसन् मुनिरब्रवीत्. रत्नासने समावेश्य पादो प्रक्षाल्य भक्तिता. कितना सिर्फ पढ़ने में कितना आनंद लगता है ना. What he did, his own throne, his own seat, which is fully studded with diamonds and various jewels, he offered to Ratnasane Samaveshya. He offered it to him and he made him sit there. Then after that, Pado Prakshalya Bhaktitaha. In 3 words, the entire emotion is presented. In English, there is so many words we have to use. Pado Prakshalya Bhaktitaha. With deep faith and devotion, he washed the feet of the Lord, feet of the sage Vashishta. Tadapa shirasa dhrutva sitaya saha raghava. Then what he did, that water, that washed water, which has washed the feet of his Guru Maharaj, he took that water and sprinkled it on his head, and it sprinkled it on Sita's head also. आजकल क्या बोलते हैं, कभी तुमने देखा है किसी के घर? हमको पता चलता है, हमको पता चलेगा, करते हैं. स्वामी जी अब क्या करते हैं, पानी लो और अपने सर पे डालो. नहीं, गंदा पानी, इट्स कम फ्रॉम ऑल द डर्ट इज देयर, मत डालो. भाव की बात है ये, भाव की बात है. अगर भाव नहीं है फिर कुछ नहीं है. श्री रामेण व मुक्तस्तु, नहीं ये कर लिया हमने, हाँ. श्री रामेण व मुक्तस्तु ग्रह सन्मुनिरब्रवीत्. ओ सेज, I feel, he said, put it on his head. When Sri Ram said this, sage Vashishta smiled and replied, Prasan Munihi Abravit. Abravit means spoke, responded. What did he say? Tvatpad, ये पढ़ लिया नहीं पढ़ा ना. त्वत्पाद सलिलम धृत्वा धन्यो भूद्गिरिर्जापतिः ब्रह्मापि पत्पिता ते हि पादतीर्थहता शुभः इदानीं भाषसे यत्त्वं लोकानामुपदेशकृत् जानामि त्वां परात्मानं लक्ष्म्या संजातमीश्वरम्. O Sri Ram, Lord Shiva, the husband of Parvati, had felt highly grateful, fortunate and privileged by keeping the water used to wash your feet on his head. When was this? ये भी कर लिया था शायद. This was when Brahmaji washed the feet of Vishnu, the Vishnupad, the right toe of Lord Vishnu. When it was washed from his kamandalu, that water which fell down, it would have there would have been a deluge in the entire universe. So Lord Shiva was invoked and he gathered the water of Ganga which has washed the feet of Lord on his head. And then from that Gangaji then in a very controlled manner, when Bhagirath prayed to Lord Shiva, did tapasya, then as a result of that, as a fruit of that tapasya, and Gangaji was pleased, then Gangaji, one stream came out of the jata of Lord Shiva. And here he says that we used to wash your feet on his head, while my own father had become freed of all sins and misdemeanors by drinking it, just in order to show the world what treatment should be meted out to one's guru. You are talking in this manner. That time, if you remember last week, Ramchandraji was saying great things about, Sage Vashishta was saying great things about Ramchandraji. And, I'm getting confused. Here, Sage Vashishta is, when he sees Ramchandraji putting water on his head, he remembers the washing of the feet of the Lord Vishnu. And he says Shivji did the same thing. And here, when Sage Vashishta went, and when Ramchandraji saw him, he prostrated in front of Sage Vashishta. Sage Vashishta knows that he is Parabrahma Paramatma. And that Parabrahma Paramatma is falling, doing namaskar, dandavat namaskar in front of Sage Vashishta. How will you feel? How will you feel? स्वामी जी आए, नहीं परमानंदा ये तो बहुत शुद्ध दिन है, एंड ही फॉल्स. ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है. कैसे अजीब लगता है ना. ऐसे ही हमको लगता है जब बड़े लोग हमारे पैरों पे नमस्कार करते हैं, तो वी फील वेरी odd. But that time you cannot, who is feeling odd? The ego is feeling odd. Why? Because that is a big person, elder person. Elder and younger comes from where? Where does it come from? Body consciousness. And who are they praying to? Who are they prostrating to? Are they prostrating to the what do you call, Kacha, the ego Swami, or are they praying to the Atma in the Swami, the Lord in the Swami? You see, whom are you prostrating to when you go to the temple? To the statue of stone or to the Lord who is expressing as existence in the stone? You see, Namdev did that and got the darshan. So it's all about Shraddha and Bhakti. And so at this moment, now Sage Vashishta is saying that I know it fully well that you are manifestation of Lord Vishnu. Idanim bhashase yattvam lokanam upadesha kruta janam mitvam paratmanam lakshmya sanjatam ishwaram. I know you are the Lord Narayana himself, who is the Parabrahma Paramatma, who has manifested on this earth as Sri Ram and has come to Ayodhya with his Lakshmi Sita. I know what your true identity is. And this should be our vision when we are interacting with everyone. Someone falls at our feet, someone calls to us to our house, instead of feeling that we should go there. No, we should feel a blessing that the Lord Himself has called us. See, if someone has, see, many times you know what value is there for the income that you get. Is it? So you work hard every day and you behave properly so that you don't lose the job. Think. You behave properly so that there is no divorce. You behave properly when you go to immigration. You behave properly in front of doctor. You behave properly if you see the police. Because you have given value to it, isn't it? You have given value to it. Even more so. But now see, when we go to eat at other people's house, how much value are giving to the food as prasad? When we are supposed to take food as bhiksha, it is prasad for us. No choice and no wastage. It has to be taken with reverence. It has to be alpahar and with full devotion towards devotion towards the person who has given, because it is Narayana who has provided that day. How do you eat? This is our attitude, I am telling you, wherever I am going. How do you eat? Is that our attitude, that every house we go to, anyone who calls, or we go there unasked? Many places I have gone unasked. At that time, do we feel the reverence and respect for to the people who are in that house, towards the food that you get, towards the dakshina that you get? You are getting salary. You are getting salary. You have worked for it. You deserve it. But people give us dakshina. Do you give that much, as much value we give to the dakshina? Because we know with what faith, reverence, He is not giving it to us, He is giving it to the Lord. And that money has to be used properly. No gambling, no slot machine, no slot machine, no unnecessary wastage. But do we do that with our salary? Because we feel we have worked hard, it is my money, isn't it? This is our attitude, isn't it? It is my money because I have worked hard. Dan, in dakshina that we get, what is our attitude? I did nothing and I got. लूट मची है, लूट. ऐसा दिमाग में आना चाहिए, चलो इधर भी जाते हैं, चलो उधर भी जाते हैं, ऐसे भी करते हैं, वैसे भी करते हैं. नहीं, एटीट्यूड इज डिफरेंट. क्योंकि एवरी वॉट एवर, अन्नदान, वस्त्रदान, हमको कपड़े तो सारे किसी ने खरीद के ही बनाए हैं मेरे लिए. एक कपड़ा कितने दिन चलता है पता है? जब तक फट नहीं आता, उसके चिथड़े नहीं होता, तो मैं पहनता ही नहीं. ये क्योंकि किसी ने दिया, बिकॉज समवन हैज गिवन इट आउट ऑफ रेवरेंस, एंड देयरफॉर देयर इज नो वेस्टेज. Same way here, sage Vashishta, he is saying, I know fully well you are doing pranam. If someone has invited, I invited him, that's why he is inviting me back. This is the way we speak, isn't it? I think they are just calling because 2 times they have come to our house. Now they must be feeling shy or embarrassed, so they have called us. This time they have called us. Sometimes we ourselves say, यार हर बार हमारे घर भी मिलते हैं, इस बार तुम्हारे घर मिलते हैं, बोलते हैं ना कभी बार. तो उस समय क्या भाव है? What is the feeling at that time? If that person says yes, do you feel you are going to the God's abode? Or do you going to your friend's abode? Or you're going to that it is the right thing to do because last 3 times I have been hosting. In Bhagavad also something like that happens. I have hosted for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week, 1 month. Now enough. Enough. This is because we are thinking from worldly sense. We are not doing it from respect and reverence. सुनने में reverence होगा, I am not saying that. पर जब reverence होता है, there is a hunger to be associated with it, to be present with it, to be pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means face to face with it. That bhav is there. And same way, our sage Vashishta, he is feeling, he is a grahast, but he is a rishi. He is feeling, अरे यार, दिख रहे हैं राम सीता, दंपत्ति, but he is feeling that, and he knows also, and we must also know that Narayana alone is in everyone. Lakshmi alone is in everyone. But we take them to be, we create because we have considered ourselves to be the body, we think they are also some person, they are husband and wife, etc., etc., and lose the plot. Deva karyartha siddhyartham bhaktanam bhakti siddhaye ravanasya vadhathaya jatam janami raghava तथापि देव कार्यार्थम गुह्यम नोद्घाटयाम्यहम यथा त्वं मायया सर्वं करोषि रघुनंदन तथैवानुविधास्यहं शिष्यस्त्वं गुरुरप्यहं गुरुर्गुरूणां देवं पितॄणां तव पितामहः. O Raghu, Sri Ram, I know that you have made an incarnation with the object of doing the job of the gods. Before, who reminded Lord Sri Ram? Naradji reminded. Now who is reminding? Sage Vashishta is reminding. What do we do in every satsang? Remind you and ourselves. Reminder is necessary to reinforce the purpose for which this human birth is taken. Lord incarnates in human form for what? Today we just now read, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. You come to satsang, Saturday satsang, or whatever satsangs you go to. Are we there for getting a kick out of it? कि मजा आता है, मन लय हो जाता है, पता ही नहीं चलता कैसे 1 घंटा चला गया. Are we there for that? Or are we there to wake up to ourselves, to the Paramatma within, to realize the Lord within our heart? Because the truth is, just as one sun is alone shining in all the pots of water, that same Ishvara is shining in every body. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hruddeshe iti tishtati. Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, 62 or 61st verse. Ishvara sarva bhutanam. He says he is present everywhere. But where is he located? After having created the entire world, he says, hruddeshe iti tishtati. I am sitting in your heart. I am located in your heart. Now, when you look at your heart, do you think it to be a bloody heart? What are you thinking of the heart as? Here the heart, when it says hruddesheti tishtati, hrud, the heart means your intellect. The sandhi or the sandhi, between two breaths, between two thoughts, between two states. So are we available to ourselves? Are we available to ourselves? Or just by default we are listening? चलो भागवतम खत्म कर दिया, भगवत गीता खत्म कर दी, उपनिषद खत्म कर दिया, अध्यात्म रामायण खत्म कर दिया, सारा खत्म हमको होना था. ऐसे ही बोलते हैं ना भाषा में, आई फिनिश दैट, आई फिनिश दिस, आई फिनिश दैट. I had done 10 पारायण ऑफ किसका, तुलसी रामायण. भगवद गीता का पारायण कर लिया. क्या कर लिया उसके बाद क्या? Unfoldment must happen. Our interaction with satsang or with life, not only satsang is only one aspect of the total life, isn't it? One day, if your one day is waking, dream, deep sleep, in that 24 hours, satsang is only one small part of it. Rest of the time you are with yourself. At that time, our Kathopanishad is saying, are we with the world or are we with the self? And there Yamaraj is telling, Shankaracharya is telling to in the commentary of in the third part of the first chapter of Kathopanishad, he says, those who are oriented towards the world samsar and taking the samsar to be real and lost in the samsar, they can attend all the satsangs, but they will not be able to realize the Lord. It is impossible. Today I went to some program, someone's getting engaged. So one person, I said, अरे यार कॉफ़ी दे दो कोई है तो one person came to me and he said, स्वामी जी मैं बनाता हूँ. स्वामी जी, I know you. I said, what is your name? Please introduce. Oh, I came to your house, this, that. अच्छा मुझे पता नहीं. And then ऐसे कुछ some topic began and he said, oh हम भी करते हैं, हम भी सत्संग करते हैं, अपने हिसाब से करते हैं. अब तो मेलबर्न में बहुत कुछ होने लग गया है. Now lot of satsang is happening in Melbourne. मैंने कहा satsang was happening before also. You were not available. जैसे मैंने बोला, he felt shocked because he is now in his 50s. तो पहले भी होता था. मैंने कहा हाँ होता था, इसीलिए तो मैं जानवर से सन्यासी बन गया. नहीं तो कैसे बनता. नहीं अभी तो बहुत है. मैंने कहा पहले भी बहुत था पर हम अवेलेबल नहीं थे. जब हम अवेलेबल हो जाते हैं तो हमको लगता है दिस इज़ द फर्स्ट टाइम दैट नाउ वी आर इन द राइट ग्रुप, इन द राइट एनवायरनमेंट और सत्संग हो रहा है, मज़ा आ रहा है. ऐसे पहले कभी नहीं हुआ. ऐसा क्षण we must feel that way every moment. And that will come about only. So why he is enjoying the satsang now? Maybe he is going for Vishnu Sahasranam or chanting or something, groups must be coming together. Why? Because he is thinking of the Lord. Why can't we think like that all the time? 24 hours, 24 by 7? That everyone, everywhere, every object, in every object, the Lord is expressing as existence. In every human, in the animal kingdom and plant kingdom, he is expressing, the Lord is expressing as existence and consciousness. In human beings, one more. Yeah, okay. In human beings, and the gods, he is expressing as existence, consciousness and bliss. Gods are enjoying all the time. Continuously surapan kar rahe hain. Girls are dancing in the heaven. What do? Go to discotheque. Or the wife makes us dance, the husband makes the wife dance. But out of frustration. Is it a joyful movement in and through life? That is only possible when we are close to the Lord. So he enjoyed the satsang. You are also enjoying the satsang. We have to mature. Unfoldment must happen, but it will happen when we are subjective. Vision must change that Lord is in everyone. Do not live with this interaction that Lord is only in the temple. And then he said, oh, I met someone whom you know, and they said in Kali Yuga, no, then I told him that life is about, because he's in 50s, I said life is about brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha and sannyas. So I think you are reaching vanaprastha stage. ऐसी चाबी दे रहा था मैं उसको, बात कर रहा था तो मैं दे दी चाबी. No. I met someone who said that in Kali Yuga, Vanaprastha is very difficult to practice. Why Vanaprastha is difficult to practice? No, he said that if in youth, if you have not practiced taking the Lord's name and it has not, the samskaras have not come to you, then you cannot take Vanaprastha. One gentleman were next to me. He says, no, that is not true. I said, भाई प्रभु आप ही बता दो, मैं तो बोल ही रहा था. He says, no, my father never went to a temple, never took a name of God for till 87 or 89 years. And 6 months before he passed away, this gentleman, I was telling my dad, go to temple someday, ताली बजाओ यार, तुम सिर्फ, you only are bad mouthing everyone that they are singing, they are clapping, nobody is spiritual, this, that. It is not about others. You go and do it. One day he did. One day only in his life he went to a temple. Transformation happened. From that moment onwards, continuously his mouth is chanting the name of the Lord. And he died like that, within few months. So in his youth, did he take? So many people I know who have never, who are wild, including this one. But changed, no? Changed. Because Lord is everywhere. His grace is all the time. Anytime it can click. But we have to be available. Sometimes only one thought is enough. That Angulimal, who was collecting the 108 thumbs of all the people, people, the last one he wanted to collect. He was wearing a mala of thumbs. As a punishment, he was a terror and the king could not catch him. And the last person by God, and he was a Brahmin who had turned into a dacoit because of atrocities of the king. A wrong judgment was passed against him because even though he did not do anything. He says, you pass the wrong judgment, I will show you now. And he started looting everyone who came out of the kingdom and cutting the thumbs. And the last person he came across was Mahatma Buddha. And he lifted his axe. You must have seen that picture or comic. He lifted his axe to cut and his hand won't come down. Tried. The hand won't come down. The axe fell from his hand. Fell at the feet of Mahatma Buddha. What happened? Suddenly realizing that whom he was standing in front of was a great person. Otherwise, why would it happen? Throughout life, he did not do anything. At a young age only, he was persecuted wrongly. Turned, became one of the greatest disciples of Lord Buddha. His name itself was Angulimal. So it is possible for everyone. Everyone it is possible. This transformation of our vision. Do you see Bappa in him? You see? Yeah? You see Bappa in her?
Yes.
Yes? And then you give her one. You see, Bappa, she is troubling me. Maro. तू भी मारती है? नहीं मारती? ये वो बोल रहा है हाँ. फिर उसके बाद ज्ञानी क्या बोलेगा? बप्पा बप्पा को मार रहा है. He is only playing. पर समझ रहे हो अभी क्या मैं सब समझा रहा हूँ? This our vision must come to this. And this vision will this transformation of all encompassing divine vision will come when our attention is Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. Everything, the entire universe is pervaded by the Ishvara. I cannot access Ishvara outside in the universe. So where can I access? He says, Hruddesheti Tishtati. I am placed, I am located, I am sitting in your heart. So you become available to me in your heart, which is the shortest distance. Otherwise, what do? Abhi I am going now. Karnataka, coast, Goa, itna 3,000 kilometers we will be traveling. ठीक है, करो वो सब करो, पर भूलो मत. Don't forget. O Raghav, I know that you have made an incarnation with the object of doing job of the gods to make successful the devotion of your devotees and to slay Ravana. Ravanasya badharthaya jatam janami. Raghav, janami, I know. Nothing is hidden. Just like parents know whatever the child has done or not done at home when they are young, till they get smart. You are not yet. Still more time. Though I should not have divulged this secret to ensure success in the fulfillment of objects of the god, because Ravana should not get a hint that you are not an ordinary prince. So now here one more secret is given. Secret of success. What is that secret of success? Whatever you want to begin, whatever you want to initiate in life, suppose there is an interview, suppose there is a business, suppose there is a new job, never divulge to every Tom, Dick and Harry. Keep the energy together. Keep the energy together. See? Same thing with your sadhana. Don't tell anyone what you are doing. But sir, you also tell it. I tell all lies. What is actually happening, I don't tell. देखो. So, when you do that, nobody has a chance to sabotage your conviction. Nobody has the chance to introduce a doubt in your mind with reference to what you have initiated. होता है ना, कई बार होता है घर में ऐसे होता है. Just simple. If you are making a dish and if your mom is there, देखो, if I am making it correctly, say नहीं ये तूने ये मिर्च ज़्यादा डाल दी. अच्छा, अरे बाप रे, dish change. So you have made it all the time, but now mom has come from India and she has her way. And you want to, if you are learning, that's a different matter. या कपड़े पहनने हैं, कपड़े पहनते समय you have decided आज मैं ये पहनूंगा और गलती से तुमने पूछ लिया कैसा लग रहा है लग रहा है change doubt introduced होता है ना. Same thing happens in any auspicious endeavor that we want or initiate. हम जैसे New Year resolution, we डिंडोरा पीटते हैं. We declare to the whole world, this is my New Year resolution. And why it doesn't last for more than 2-3 days, 5 days, 1 week? Because we have told everyone. If you don't keep it, you work on it. And if you are slipping from that resolution, because you have not told anyone and you are truly committed to improving yourself and your habits, it will happen. You will find the strength from inside. You will recognize where you are going wrong. But you tell others, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? वो बात ठीक है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? You decide, I'm not going to eat banana, or I'm not going to eat rice and roti. From that moment, the moment you say it, From next morning only, more chapati come and more rice come. Then more dosa comes, more idli comes. So do not share it with those people who are by nature positive and are happy in your success. Genuinely happy. Not because you think they will be happy. So here, see what he is saying, Sage Vashishta, I should not have divulged it, meaning I should not have spoken about it, because who can hear? It's only conversation between Sage Vashishta and Ram, but who can hear? An ant can hear, a bird can hear, the wind can carry the sound all the way to Ravana. Ravana is not an ordinary person, he is सारी सिद्धियां उसके पास. He is very powerful. If he chose to think that there is a conversation like this going on, he would have come to know. See? So therefore, Sage Vashishta says that that you have come because gods approached you and you wanted to satisfy their, remove the pain for them, because अर्घ्य नहीं मिल रहा उनको, आहुति नहीं मिल रही है, तो और वो किसकी वजह से? Because of Ravan. So I am telling you, because Ravana should not get the hint that you are an ordinary prince. If he comes to know, then he will plan differently. But he did all that he did in his life, Ravan, is only because he considered Sri Ram as a normal human being. Because what was the boon Ravana had got from Brahmaji? That other than monkeys and human beings, I cannot be killed by anyone. Other than, so he considered monkeys as tuchha, and he considered human beings as tuchha. Tuchha means good for nothing. So therefore, he did not include these two in the boon that Brahmaji gave. And these two only came and finished him off, his whole city. Then he says, even as you will behave like an ordinary prince using your illusory deceptive powers called Maya, I too shall treat you as my disciple and myself as your guru, so that the secret is maintained. If you who are the Parabrahma Paramatma and you are doing the Leela of being an ordinary human being as Sri Ram and Sita along with Maya, which is Sita, I will also play the role in this Leela. I also know that Sage Vashishta knows he is Parabrahma Paramatma. Who? Not Sri Ram only, he also. And he knows that Sri Ram is also. And because in Vyavahar, there are certain rules and regulations to be followed. Some parameters are there. So I will also continue to be the teacher and you continue to be the student. Accept you as my student. See? But oh God, in reality you are the guru of all the gurus put together and the great grandfather of all the ancestors. Gurur gurunam tvam deva pitrunam tava tvam pitamaha. You are the eldest ancestor of all our ancestors and you are the guru of all the gurus, meaning you are the Sadguru. Continuing, with this we will conclude for today. Antaryami jagadyatra vahakastvam agocharaha shuddha sattvamayam deham ghrutva swadhina sambhavam manushya iva lokesmin bhasi tvam yoga mayaya paurohityamaham jnane vigahyam dushya jivanam. You are wise and omniscient as much as you know the internal thoughts of all. See, Lord Ram, he knows everything about everything because he is Ishvara. But he is behaving as if he is a normal person. How is that possible? It is. Is it difficult to understand? I am asking. Is it difficult to understand that Ramchandra ji is the Ishvara himself, knowing everything about every mind, yet behaving ignorant, yet behaving as if he doesn't know? Is it difficult to understand? Yes or no? What no? Not difficult to understand, or yes, it is difficult to understand?
It's not that difficult to understand.
Why it is not difficult to understand?
Because he's playing the role of what he is doing at that point. He's just like doing the activity, whatever he's feeling at that point.
Yeah, but how will you know? How do you know? You are only reading a story. You are only reading a story here. So how do you know Ram was living as that this point which is being made, that he is Parabrahma Paramatma and he is play acting the role of a human? समझ रहे हो? Play acting. Is it difficult to understand or easy to understand? Do you have any experience like that in your life? You have seen anyone like that? You are all Parabrahma Paramatmas play acting that you are a human being. You are all man play acting as husband, wife, brother, etc. वो भी जब भगवान कर रहे हैं तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है? वो भी वही कर रहे हैं, तुम भी वही कर रहे हो, प्ले एक्टिंग ही कर रहे हो. पर जहां सीरियस हो गए वहां पे गड़बड़ हो गई. वेयर यू हैव बिकम सीरियस, देन यू आर कॉट. बट इफ यू नो, then it is good. How do you know? Not by thinking, by accepting that by nature I am Parabrahma Paramatma. And when that is done, the mind must always be clicked into that Tattva principle. It's continuously focused on the Lord seated in our heart. So if Ramchandra is doing, you are all like him only. Till you come to a satsang, I am doing the job of the Vashishta, triggering, reminding. Dekho, every satsang is that only. Before Naradji came, before that Ahalya told him, Ramchandra ji said, I don't want to touch the stone. If she is a woman, I don't want to touch my feet on this, that. And he felt so embarrassed. The moment she became, अरे बाप रे, मेरे पैर की धूल से अहल्या आ गई. He did 3 pradakshinas of her and did namaskar to her. And Ahalya on the other part, she fell at his feet, and when she got up, her vision had changed. And she realizes that he is there she reminded him, triggered him to bring out the divinity is inherent in every one of us. कांटा नहीं, खून निकालने के लिए भी सुई मारनी पड़ती है, ट्रिगर चाहिए. परमात्मा निकालने के लिए भी कुछ ना कुछ टेढ़ी उंगली से घी निकलता है, परमात्मा निकलता है. Some way. So what is the way? जप करो. That is one way, by remembering him again and again. Or someone reminds you in a satsang. Understand, when you said the first time you answered, you are looking at Ram. What I keep saying, Adhyatma Ramayana is subjective. Everything that is taking place here is happening in you. If you don't take it that way, growth is not going to happen. Because you are not accepting the Lord is sitting in my heart. You are ready to assess and pass comments on a story which was written so many thousands of years ago. But you are not seeing what that story which was written few thousand years ago, which is a factual story, but those principles are present right now here in you. So whenever I ask question, I am not asking question for an objective answer. I am asking a question to get a subjective response from you. From not just you, everyone. Because I'm speaking in that manner. समझ? You have assumed this pure, truthful, divine, sinless, uncorrupted body and appear to be a human out of your own free will. I know that the profession of being a priest is most lowly, detestable, contemptible, corrupt, shameful, and ignoble means of livelihood. प्रीस्ट बनना कोई यहाँ पे वशिष्ठ जी कह रहे हैं और हमारे इतने सारे प्रीस्ट दे आर इन देयर ओन ईगो कि हम वी आर डूइंग सेवा टू द सोसाइटी. बोलते हैं ना कई कितने लोग बोलते भी हैं. दे थिंक दे आर डूइंग सेवा टू द सोसाइटी एज इफ दे आर डूइंग अ फेवर टू द सोसाइटी. Instead, what should it be? If it is true seva, then it will be like this. The thoughts of sage Vashishta will reflect out of their mouth. That this profession of being a priest is lower than the lowest. We are clicked in that position because we are born in a family, etc. Akhandanandji also was born in a priest family. He did the job of priest. But he was subjective in his approach. Pataphat, very quickly, at a very young age only. He had 2 kids. By the time वो बीवी बिजी हो गई बच्चों के साथ, सन्यासी बन गए. सन्यासी बन गए. Because his attention was not on family. But as a family person, ठीक है, job has to be, whatever has to be done, the next generation has to be there. But he was focused on higher. Are we focused? Now you got your child, the child is grown up. Are we ready to move to the next stage? Or are we stuck? So your sage Vashishta says that, oh Lord, you have a sinless body, means absolutely pure body. And you have taken that form out of your own free will. Have you taken your form out of your own free will? I'm asking. Have you taken your form? Did this form of Nagaraj or Vidya or this Swami or Narayana or what is her name again? Lavanya. Did each one of you choose your own form? Yes. If you look at it, your karma, the previous karma, had determined which body is going to come. Your karma have decided. And a person who has come to this conclusion that it is Lord everywhere, then also it is your free will. Lord has taken this form. Lord alone is expressing through this form. I am nobody. देखो, दोनों तरफ से. Relatively also, because of the samskars that you have, because of that your prarabdha cannot give me this body, no? My prarabdha only will give me this body. So this is from relative standpoint. And from the higher standpoint, the Lord alone is everything, so it is His free will. So when people talk to us, they say, "Oh, Swamiji, it is such a good fortune. It is such a great. We must have done some great punya in this life or past life, because of which satsang has come into our life, you have come into our life, our Guruji has come into our life, scriptures have come into our life." Yeah, scriptures भी बोलते हैं, पर शुरू के लिए, so that you feel good about that it is happening to you. But it is all Lord only. So but when we say that everything in our life is happening because of our karma samskars, ego becomes strong. For majority people, if success is coming, oh, it is because I must have done a lot of punya in my past life. That's why success is coming. And they stop doing good because in this life, then problems either in this life or next life will be a problematic. So we must get out of this whole thing. उसके लिए सत्यनारायण पूजा बताई जाती है कि तुम साइकिल में फंस जाते हो, साइकिल में से निकलना है, या उस साइकिल में से नहीं भी निकले. You see, even when we see देवों के देव महादेव और राधा कृष्ण, और when Parvati, she did not listen to, not Parvati, Sati Mata, Sati na? Sati did not listen to Shivji. She had to pay the consequence, pay for her for that not listening to her husband. See, so you may observe the consequences in your life. You may not be aware of the consequences in your life. But karma, where is it happening? Manasa, Vacha, Kaya. Whatever is happening at these three levels, it has a consequence. It has a consequence. There will be, if there is an action हमने बोला ना, Manasa, Vacha, Kaya, action. What is the Newton's third law? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. तो अच्छे विचार करोगे तो अच्छे विचार आएंगे, बुरे विचार करोगे तो बुरे विचार आएंगे तुम्हारी तरफ. If you feel this person is manipulative, then manipulation will come to you. If you feel God, in everyone there is Lord, then the Lord will come to you. Your vision will change. This is our this is not, I'm not saying something new. This is our Sanatana Dharma. The entire lifestyle is based on invoking the divine every moment, being available to the divine every moment, to recognizing that we are divine before, during, and after. There has never been a moment when divine has been absent from our life. Life is divine. Ramchandra ji knows that. Here also, the moment I trigger you, I'll give you a pointer to contemplate, or you will immediately answer. Do you know the waking, dream and deep sleep come and go? You say yes. The one who is saying yes right now is not the waker, is not the dreamer, is not the sleeper. You are Paramatma. नहीं, but गए काम से, immediately गए. It's that simple. Now you have to hold on. You can't hold on. You have to accept, or you have to contemplate. Who is this who said yes? If it is not, because waker cannot come to know the dreamer and deep sleeper. Then who said yes? उसके बारे में सोचते तुम ही गायब हो जाओगे. जहाँ तुम गायब हो गए, where you have vanished, the seeker has vanished, there the Paramatma is, there the reality is. You cannot come to know reality. The transformation is individuality dissolves and reality expresses, or Ishvara expresses, reveals. The river dissolves and ocean reveals. The ocean doesn't dissolve. River dissolves. It had a journey. Seeker has a journey from birth, karma, ये वो blah blah blah. पूरी भगवत गीता कंप्लीट करो. फिर क्या हो गया? Dissolve. Then I know that profession of being, then I already spoken that. We'll start from 28th in our next class. We'll conclude here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ